My garbage person of the week. My garbage person of the week is Matt Walsh, who sucks a whole ton for a bunch of reasons, not the least of which is his recent attempt to talk trash about a children's hospital using straight up lies about it. And then now he's hilariously flailing after everyone called him out for doing things like calling people to arms, which resulted in bomb threats being made against the children's hospital. Every part of it is equal parts terrifying and cathartic at the end when you see him flail. But first, here's what he said, followed by the consequences. Take a look.
Children's hospitals around the country are butchering, mutilating, and sterilizing their young patients. So according to Boston Children's Hospital, literally every toddler who has ever been born or will ever be born is trans. And they've done it up until this moment without much resistance from the public. But that has to end. We have to stop making it so easy on them. And that's why I'm in the very early stages of trying to organize a national coordinated effort to fight back against this evil. It's really just a matter of where do we begin? Maybe we begin at Boston Children's Hospital.
Boston Children's Hospital says its staff is being threatened and harassed now after far-right activists on social media posted misinformation, claiming they perform gender-affirming hysterectomy procedures on young girls. The hospital says it's not true. They do not perform those procedures.
So there you go. Shout out to the Surfs and Media Matters for putting all that together and sharing it with people. But like, folks heard that and then they went to the Children's Hospital and called in a bomb threat. And Matt Walsh knows he's in trouble and he knows he can't acknowledge any of it. And what's most hilarious is his response to it. So he tweeted this. This is his out. This is what he thinks exonerates him. Last night, thousands of idiot leftists were absurdly blaming me and libs of TikTok for a bomb threat at Boston Children's. Today, the story has disappeared because police quickly determined the whole thing was a false alarm, and don't expect we'll get any apologies, though. He thinks that because it was a fake bomb threat, it isn't really a bomb threat at all. Until his people plant actual bombs at Children's Hospital, he says he takes no responsibility for any consequences.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart.
I want to tweak what you said. It's not a fake bomb threat. It's a bomb threat. It's a bomb threat whether there ends up being a bomb or not. It doesn't require an actual bomb to shut down the operations of a hospital, to fill a staff of hundreds with fear that they might die at any second. That's what a bomb threat does, whether there's a bomb or not. That's what they're doing. It's a coordinated harassment campaign. In this particular case, they didn't blow up a hospital, which is great, but they are trying to drive these people out of the industry, to try to shut these places down. He's doing it on purpose. He knows that all these are lies. He doesn't care. He didn't. Was 5 years ago, was he talking about this? No, they've decided this is the thing we're gonna do to try to bamboozle our audience into not thinking about their income, their ability to retire, their ability to buy a home, their ability to pay for health insurance. We don't want them focused on that stuff. We need something, and thus, I don't know, I guess children's hospitals are the new boogeyman. And that's why I'm in the early stages of starting a national campaign so that we can do more fake or more bomb threats at these places.
The whole idea of transgender is something that we've invented. We've invented this category of someone. What does transgender mean? It means you're beyond gender. That's a category that we've invented. What you have are people who are confused. And I don't think that God is the author of that confusion. I think that so it's possible that something has gone wrong in the brain from birth.
Yes, I think it is possible that something has gone wrong in the brain, in his brain. Someone is confused. It's him, actually. And I don't just mean about what the trans community is, what that experience is like. He could have it explained to him. He could learn about it any time. He doesn't care. That's not where his bread is buttered. But to be clear, one thing that he is confused about is the political effects of his and other right-wing pundits' constant obsession with demonizing the trans community. Now, I'm not going to say that their 2-year-long quest to erase the trans community from existence hasn't had some of the effects that they want. It has made Matt Walsh and companies he works for a lot of money. It's gotten him audience and all of that. It got people to watch his stupid supposed documentary. They've gotten that. And it has had some of the other obvious predictable consequences, like harassment and violence against trans people. But outside of that, when it comes to the political impact of making the entirety of conservative ideology transphobia, it hasn't, it turns out, had the effect that they wanted. And there's some fascinating new data that Ari Drennan, who was on our show recently, was spreading on social media. When they asked Republican voters from the midterms, these are people who identify as having voted Republican in these midterms, what it is that convinced you to support the Republicans, what was most and least influential, the idea that Republicans are going to keep transgender athletes out of quote unquote girls' sports and stop promoting transgender surgeries and things like that. That was the least influential category out of all of the ones that they talked about. And there were a lot. There were specific things having to do with gas prices and inflation. There were more vague things about standing up for tradition. There was personal things like opposing people like Nancy Pelosi or AOC. Across all of those categories, the thing that was least influential was demonizing the trans community. And so, look, that's to some extent a mild silver lining in the wake of violence targeting the LGBTQ plus community. But it is good to see at least that they're not winning over nearly as many even Republicans to these arguments as they think they are.